is a problem for all of us in Nigeria, in Italy, in South America, everywhere. Unite means that we don't know borders, that we are only one family. And this is what means to unite in the space. But unite means also to be united in the time. Because a relevant project, an important project, it requires time, it requires resilience, it requires continuity, it requires more than 1 year. If you want to face a relevant and difficult problem of the community in 1 year, it is not credible. In 1 year you just scratch the surface of the problem, but you don't solve the problem. So for this reason, unite means that it is so important that the club presidents and the governors work together. The governor of the last year, the governor of this year, and the governors of the future years. They have to plan together, because a good project, a relevant project, requires time and requires that you plan together, requires that you begin a project and your successors continue to do this project. Because if we go as a club or as a district, 1 year we go to right, and the year after we go to left, and then we come back, everything is so stupid. We remain always in the same point, but we don't proceed forward. We remain still. So unite means many things. Unite means to create hope, to have credibility, and to create trust in Rotary International. This means unite. Hope, trust, credibility. And then once we have united the club, we have united the clubs in the community, the other clubs, the other organizations, the other governors, the other presidents, we are ready to work for good. And for good, for me, as I said some minutes ago, for me, for good means to work for peace. Because peace is our goal. Peace is what we have to achieve at the end of our path. And peace, as I explained, peace is not only the absence of war. When there is a war, we as Rotary International, we can do really very few things. We usually arrive before and after the war. Positive peace, if you cannot maintain your family, that is not to live in peace. That is a nightmare for the person. So peace means to have a job, community development. But to have a job means also to be healthy to do the job. It means also to have the instruction, to have the title of study to obtain a good job. So to work for peace means not only to create community development, but means also to work for the health of the population, and means to work for the schools, for the literacy, for education. But you don't have education without clean water. You cannot have education without the facilities for the girls. So to work for the clean water, for the wash water and sanitation means to work for peace. And this means that each single project that we do, it is a small step toward peace. And it means that when we will finish the eradication of polio, that will be not a small, but a huge step toward peace. Because a world without polio is a world more peaceful. So we work every day for peace, every day with our projects. Not only with the centers that are, of course, very important, and not only with the youth exchange. The youth exchange is so important. Every year, almost about 1,000 students go to another country to study. But not only to study. They go there to know and to face another culture, another religion, another way of life, other traditions. It means to begin to understand other cultures. It means to begin to appreciate other traditions, other countries. And that is the beginning of peace. That is a bridge of understanding between two countries. And this bridge you can build also with an exchange between two clubs, but not two clubs in the same region. That is, again, so stupid. It is not useful. But an exchange, for example, I invite my clubs in Italy to do an exchange with other clubs where? In Syria, in Iraq, in Pakistan, in countries that are difficult for us, that oblige us to go out of the box. Because this is what we need to create peace, to create bridges between countries that at the moment are not so near. And we can do something. We cannot create, probably, we cannot stop a war, but we can create bridges. And this is always peace begins creating a bridge. So this is my message for you. This means unite for good. And it is only if we unite for good that we can create a lasting impact. Thank you.
Please, can we make this louder? Put hands together and standing ovation for our Rotary International President, who is right here in our midst. Thank you. Amazing Rotarians. Our president says you can have your seats. Now, we are pressed for time, and that's why I'm apologizing to our host district governors. We had to adjust the program and did some fast track. So please, we skip some items of the program, but it's all for good. We're uniting for good. Thank you. Interactive session now. Can only take maybe one or two questions because from here, our president is moving on to another program. So, 2 questions, please. Just have to bear with us because of time. Any 2 questions, please? Easy questions. Don't worry, I will. If they make it too difficult, we know what to do.
Good afternoon, our president, and welcome to our beautiful country, Nigeria. My name is Azu Arunze. I am a pastor Sestamo newsletter. I have a very simple question for you. What is the sweetest, what is the nicest thing about being a Rotarian, so that we can also continue to expand, run with that message? Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other person? Any other Rotarian? Any question at all? Okay.
The RI President, welcome once again to Nigeria. My name is Femi Adenekon. I'm the Middle Pass District Governor of Rotary International District 112. May I ask you, what do you think is the current challenge of Rotarians and Rotary in our world? Thank you. The most challenging thing or the most challenging situation our Rotary world is facing today. Thank you.
Well, how many hours I have to? Well, what is the sweetest thing that Rotarians can achieve? I am a dreamer. I am a dreamer and I invite all of you to dream, always. A poet, a French poet said once that you begin to die in the right moment when you finish to dream. Dream is our life. And we all have a dream. We all have a dream. I have a lot of dreams. I have dreams for at least another 40 years. And then I calculated that I have to rest for about 20 years, so I have at least 60 years in my future. What is wonderful about it? Many often, when you have a dream and you'd like to realize this dream, but you realize that alone you cannot. You cannot do it. It is too big. It is. You cannot alone because you don't have the tools. You don't have the money. Very often you don't have the possibility to realize your dream. But in Rotary you can do it. Rotary is a dream machine. Rotary is the place. Rotary is the network that gives you the tools, that gives you the opportunities, that gives you the friendship, the connections to realize your dream. So what I always say when I speak to a public of non-Rotarians, I always say to them, if you have a dream, if you really have a dream and you want to realize it, join us. Because Rotary is the perfect place when you can realize your dreams. And this, in my opinion, is what is unbelievable and wonderful in the Rotary world, that you can really realize your dreams. What is the most challenging problem in this moment? I could say that is the hunger, that is the polio, that is the war, that is. But what I really think is the main problem is a cultural problem. Probably is something that you will find philosophical. My wife always cried to me, you are too philosophical, you don't have to speak of these things. But the real problem in the Western society, but it begins to be the problem also in other regions of the world, is that we think of ourselves, we feel ourselves as individuals. I am an individual. And so means that I have a lot of rights. and no dues. That I have, that the main problem for me as individuals is to realize my things, to realize what is mine. We have lost the sense of person, of citizen. The person doesn't work for the success of himself, but he works for the success of the society where he is living. And that is our problem. To think ourselves as persons, as people that live because they are in contact with other persons. The individuals are lonely in the crowd. You can be 10,000 persons all together, but each of them thinks only for himself. And so they are all together, but they are lonely. They are alone in the world. The main problem is to switch this problem and to unity, not my success. Is important, essential to recuperate and write the English word, but to obtain again the sense of the person, the sense of the people that works for the welfare of the community. And it's the welfare of the community that will give to you your welfare. So this is, in my opinion, what we have to change with the mentality of the Rotarians, especially of the Rotarians of my club.
Thank you. Please, can we make that louder, please? I want to bring the indulgence of our RI President and all our leaders here present. Just one more question. This time coming from the District Rotaract representative, DRR Abiodun Atitebi of District 9112. Please make it brief.
All right.
And thereafter, we'll move outside to take pictures with our RI President, his spouse, and all our leaders, starting candidates and Rotarians. Michael Effiong will coordinate that. Thank you. Make it brief. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Good day, everyone. I am Atitebi Ismail. So, thank you for the interest. So, it affects our membership database often. So, it's always like we get people to come in and some people always leave. So, if you would advise us, considering the popularity of anime, because I mean, they have a population of young persons that are passionate that want to do this, but over the years, the passion wins out. What is one thing you tell us that can keep us going, even on days that we probably want to give up, that we always still remember that one word and keep pushing? Thank you.
Inca. One the microphone. Yes, Inca. Inca has the potential to be the first international president in the history of Rotary International to have been a Rotaract. But I am the first Rotary International president to have been an interactor. Well, I arrived in Nigeria six hours ago. So it is a bit difficult for me to formulate a judgment on what to do with Rotaract in Nigeria. It is difficult. In general, in the world, what I can say about the rapport between Rotary and Rotaract. The rapport between Rotary and Rotaract is a great love story. And as usual in a love story, we have periods of great success and periods of great crisis. And this is normal. But how can we create a good rapport with Rotaractors, and how can we create a normal, natural passage from Rotaract to Rotary? The recipe is very simple. We have to know them, and they have to know us. We have to love them, because it is a love story. It is a love story, so we have to love them. But to love them, we have to know them. And to know them, we have to stay with them. And we stay with them only if we involve them in every single project that we do. Everything that we do in our clubs, as it is to be done necessarily with the Rotary. We have to stay with them every week, not every 2 or 3 months, but every week, every day. We have to plan together, to study together the community, to plan together, to find together a solution. We, with our experience, they, with their fantasy. And we will begin to know, we will begin to appreciate each other. We will begin to love each other. And then it will be natural, a good rapport and the passage. And no, there is no difference at that point between Rotaract and Rotary. But when I was district governor, a couple of years ago, I always had a question for the president of my clubs. What is the name of the president of your Rotaract? No one knew the name of the president of the Rotaract, because they don't work together, because they work separately, and they meet for Christmas, they meet for Easter, they meet for the visit of the governor. It is not enough every day, and you can take the phone during the night to call your club president. Is when we have won our fight, and we can say that we have elevated Rotaract. In reality.
Now we can make it very loud for that Q&A session for our president. Please quickly vote of thanks from our party CEO governor, Otumba Bola Mabadijo. Please step forward. Sorry, there will be pictures after this session. Just to thank everyone.
Not for free.
And we are here for spouse, our president-elect and the wife, the coordinator, distinguished leaders of Rotary present here. My job simply was to say thank you. But I look at it, is it proper to say thank you for a man you have not properly welcomed? So, on behalf of all Rotarians in Nigeria, especially District 9111 and 9112, we want to welcome the RI President and his spouse into Nigeria. Can we give a round of applause? you very much. And I think we should thank him for the press conference. We should thank him for the questions he has answered very diligently. And of course, this particular session for those beautiful questions he has answered. On behalf of Rotarians in District 9111 and 9112, we want to welcome you and thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Please, photographs outside, please. Briefly, 5 minutes and we are done. Thank you.
You hear from your brother, your wife.
Okay.